All right, this is the last one for right now. So we'll do a quick review of what happened last week or 2 weeks ago, which was the quality, regulatory affairs, behavioral health changes. And then the last one we'll get through will be community relations, legislative, public policy things, and marketing changes. So the four main changes on this side were changes to structure, focus, roles, and coordination challenges. So that's played out already in the RFP. We created a new LTSS committee. Changes to focus, like I said, how do we measure whether a member is safe and to what extent are in their home? I mean, these are things that we're going to have to pay attention to in the future. A big change that we're going to need to work through is we're not just a payer of services anymore. In a lot of regards, we're going to be the ones referring out to within our own network. And so what do we need to do to ensure we're not overutilizing one provider versus another? Because there's some degree of probably legal risk is, some in our provider network saying, well, I'm in the network, but you've got me on some blacklist that you don't refer to me equally or not. So that's just a new twist on what our role is going to be. And then with the CCS carve out, we're going to need to be paired up in some instances with a CCS care coordinator to kind of manage those services between the two. So the three we're going to go through today are the community relations, legislative liaison, public policy, and marketing. So rather than four changes, I could really only identify three that are larger picture ones with this. So the first one is needing to new community organizations that we're going to need to work with our target population. Area agencies on aging are not really an organization or a network of organizations we've worked with in the past. Independent living centers, again, partners in development. That was a conversation we had with them last week about doing outreach or working with our members that, while we may be challenged to find out, good contact information for them, some of these other organizations may have better ways of reaching them that we need to tap into. And second one is expanding to include elder care and disability issues. So this has already played out. This is playing out twice right now within Aloha Care. So the first is last month, after many, many years, Kapuna Care is a state-only funding source to seniors. And it was supposed to be for seniors who are not on Medicaid. So kind of to serve those right on the, the precipice of going into Medicaid programs. And only on Oahu, there were a couple of hundred individuals who were caught up in both they were on Medicaid and they were in Kapuna Care. All the other islands, they managed to keep that separate. So what this happened is, so they're all being essentially discharged from the Kapuna Care program, and where are they going to go? Well, now they're being thrown over into the QEXA plans because that's the closest service package available to them to replace what they're going to lose in Kapuna Care. And so this is really a non-Medicaid program to a Medicaid program. Well, some of our competitors are taking this as an opportunity to send in a sales agent to discuss with the member about switching their Medicare Advantage plan from Aloha Care to their plans. So since we only have a couple hundred people in our special needs plan, we've had to do some defensive maneuvers now to try and educate our members about you don't have to switch, you don't need to feel pressured into doing that. Losing Kapuna Care has nothing to do with your Medicare Advantage special needs plan. So, this is a real thing that just is impacting us in a way that in the past we never would have. The second is that's still playing out right now is self-direction providers. Under the state's program, I'll just try and give you a high level. Under the state's program, we'll use Michelle. Michelle is the member, and she hires Jane as her self-direction provider. And right now, Jane is viewed as an employee of the state. It's under their state tax ID number. The problem that's creating now between MedQuest and the Department of Labor is if Jane works more than 40 hours a week, they need to somehow track that for overtime and other things. And so there's potentially what they may shift is it becomes Aloha Care's responsibility to either use our tax ID number to pay Jane or create individual ones for every single self-direction provider that we have to be able to track this stuff. So, I mean, these are huge workload impacts and legal impacts for us that we need to be aware of. Again, never would have in the past, big changes. And then the last is promotional or informational images. We're going to need to include older or different individuals in our marketing materials or Young Mom with Kids. And if you look at the physical copy of the RFP, within each section there's kind of a title page with a picture. And I remember the first time service coordination came, it was a younger person with developmental disability. So, we were saying, nope, needs to be an older person, probably in a wheelchair. So these are active conversations that have already happened, at least in our RFP materials, and will continue to happen with our promotional materials, etc. So every section of the organization that I can think of right now. So I'll leave you with two last thoughts here. So the first is, this comic about this town being accessible to both of us. And this last one I showed Courtney the other day. I was just quite pleased. I think this one is very appropriate to Hawaii. So, so do you realize in about 40 years we'll have thousands of old ladies running around with tattoos, and rap music will be the golden oldies. Now that's scary. So, all right. Thank you.